cooler in here today.
It is. It is a lot cooler in here today.
Or it's supposed to be 90.
Is it really?
Yeah, so maybe we need to make sure we open that vent for them.
It wasn't bad when I came in.
Good.
It really wasn't that bad. All right, what's up, folks? Dalton Nelson with Parrish News Network here. I'm experimenting with the whole background, everything on my laptop. Got some important updates and things that I think some of you guys will find interesting. Going back to the Richard High story that I was telling you about in my earlier live. If you haven't checked out my earlier live, please go watch that. It'll kind of give you a precursor to what we're talking about in this live. But the Richard High story out of Buffalo, New York. There has been some interesting developments that have happened today. There was a independent news journalist that was actually in the headquarters for the Department of Education there, and he was actually assaulted by one of the education employees, and his phone was destroyed, and he got a ticket to appear summons, so he has to go to court and rectify that situation. The journalist from the video that I seen was very, very chill about it, and was very professional. I don't think that the way that they handled it was improper at all. That being aside, I'm putting this out there as a PSA, and I want to just touch off of what I touched on earlier. The people that are helping me out, and the people that are informing things to me and things like that, I just want to say thank you. I don't want to, put this out there and blow anybody up or get anybody fired or anything like that. I don't think that that's the right thing to do, but I want to let you know that I do see what you're doing and I do appreciate it. And the fact of the matter is people are going to start paying attention to who is helping and who is not. And the rot is going to start showing itself inside of Manatee County, and you're either going to shell the onion where there's nothing left, or you're going to have something left that's worth something. And we as a community need to grow together, and we need to make sure that the people that are doing us a good service and the people that do us a solid and help us out, that they know that we appreciate them and that they are protected, because those people are the ones that you want to keep in Manatee County government. You don't want to keep the people in Manatee County government that want to lie and want to cheat and want to steal and want to cover shit up and want to, make it difficult for all the rest of us. And, that's why I wanted to come back on the live and come back out here, because the things that I'm doing, I know are making people uncomfortable, and people are making decisions that I can't get into right now that are going to domino effect later on down the line. And I'm calling it now. You guys are going to see a progression of people that are going to weed themselves out, or that are going to be weeded out by other people to take the blame for things. And you guys need to pay attention to who does what and to who is doing what in our county. Because I am not going to hold back in this documentary. I am not going to take it light. I'm going to push for the answers, and I am going to make this county be held accountable for what is going on. So, again, to Kelly O'Malley and to Jason Bearden, I appreciate you. You guys have done a very, very good job at taking a lot of the things that I've brought to you very seriously. A lot of the safety issues, a lot of the things that really need to get addressed before this storm season. And the people that I have talked to in Public Works, the ones that constantly call me back, the ones that give me, the answers to the questions that I ask, the ones that are straight up with me, I appreciate it. There's a lot of you guys out there that you know who you are, and I don't want to specifically call you out because I don't want you singled out. So I really do appreciate it. Something else that I wanted to kind of say to piggyback off of what I said earlier. Carol has listened to me to an extent, but Carol has her own agenda for things that she wants to do, which is fine. She is her own person. She can do that. I'm not trying to dog her by any means, but I have noticed a trend that when she is copied in emails, she has a habit of not responding back. When you try and get a hold of her to update her on issues, she doesn't call you back. I understand that you guys as commissioners are busy, but you have to get back to people. And the people that are trying to push and trying to make a huge difference and are trying to make sure that the right things get done and the right things get said, because that is super important. The things that you say and the things that you do as a commissioner or as a public service worker inside Manatee County is super, super important. And we need to be leading, especially on the board, faith forward. You know, everything that you say needs to be action. Everything that you do needs to be a reflection of what you want to see. And I am not seeing that with a lot of commissioners. There's certain commissioners that I have called out publicly, one of them being Cruz, and I am going to be a little bit crucial of him and criticize him a little bit. Critical of him a little bit is because I've called in for public comment before, and he's laughed literally in my face while I'm doing my public comment when I bring up actual issues. Evan Pilachowski has said that supposedly I've been argumentative on the phone when I am trying to get him to answer questions that he does not want to answer. I have noticed a trend in the upper tiers of government in Manatee County. When you go to talk to certain people, they have been instructed not to tell you anything. They have been instructed to divert questions and give generic answers. With that being said, you guys are supposed to be the utmost transparent people because that's how this government is supposed to work. The smallest government is the most efficient government. If most of what government is doing right now is subsidized out to external businesses and external private entities, 95% of it would get done a lot faster and a lot cheaper, and the taxpayers wouldn't have to pay for it as much. Something else that I want to bring to people's attention. If you pay attention to Tuesday's meeting, item number 55, they are talking about buying a building that is several hundreds of billions of dollars in Lakewood Ranch. Okay, we are talking about years of taxpayer debt to move. So the discussion is to move the admin building and I believe probably the public works building out to Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. Or not, I don't think it's on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. I think it's like off of Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. This thing is several billions of dollars. Like it's like three places of billions, and then 500 million, and then 0.0000000. This is a lot of money, and we just extended a huge ass line of credit for the Fort Hammer deal, where they're widening Fort Hammer Road and all the way to Upper Manatee. So I don't see how, when you have ditches that need to be cleaned, you have infrastructure that needs to be replaced, you have water treatment plants to be built, you have a lot of infrastructure that is outdated, that you say is not outdated, like the dam, which is documented, and you can request that information because that's public record. but yet you want to go spend billions of dollars on a building that you don't necessarily need right now. That doesn't seem like the best use of government resources. And I highly encourage people to go to the meeting on Tuesday and to say that this is not a good idea. I don't think that this is a productive use of taxpayer money in order to buy a building that we don't necessarily need right now. Pay attention to who votes for what at these board meetings and vote accordingly when they come up for re-election. You have two commissioners, well, three commissioners that are fixing to come up for re-election. Pay attention to how they've been voting and then vote them out accordingly. Because that's what it's going to take to get this board in the right direction. If you guys are tired of flooding, if you're tired of your stuff not being maintained, if you're tired of the infrastructure looking like garbage, if you're tired of waiting in traffic, if you're tired of being tired, start doing the things that are productive for everybody else. That's what I want to say, and that's what I'm going to continue from this morning. Try and start making a difference in Manatee County. Lead by example, and let's all huddle together and get this done. The more that we show up and we show the people of Manatee County, that they have a voice and that they can actually do something for the rest of the citizens of Manatee County, the more we're going to be able to get done and the more people are going to want to speak out. Because that's the issue. People say, well, a group of us will go up there and we'll say something and then nothing ever gets done. And that's why, because it's only a small group. So, with that being said, guys, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Sorry for the coughing. My wife's sick. But other than that, we appreciate you guys. And seriously, everybody that's been helping me, everybody that's been giving me information, throughout every piece of everything. I don't want to single anybody out. I don't want to give up my sources, but I appreciate you guys, and it does mean a lot to me. Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your night.